What's going on, boys and girls? My name's Shano and welcome to another Forza Horizon 5 video. In this video I'm going to show you just quickly how I use the telemetry to set up the camber and caster on my drift cars. Before we jump into this video, guys, three things. First of all, I'm sorry about the audio, I know it's pretty shitty. Secondly, amazing subscriber count. Honestly, I've uploaded like 5-6 videos and I've got 70 subscribers. That's pretty good. I was not expecting this whatsoever. Thirdly, for my subscribers, this on screen here is me and my drift car. If you guys want to see more than this, please let me know down in the comment section below and I'll happily show you this. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. So we're here in the Formula Drift GR Supra, and I've maxed out the power mods like I do on pretty much all of my Formula Drift cars. So next up obviously comes the tune. So this is the telemetry. It gives you all the live data regarding your car, which is pretty good. There's loads of different options on here, but we are going to be looking at the tyres. So if you don't know how to enable this, go to settings, go to advanced controls, and this one here you'll have it set to Anna. It's set at Anna as default, but turn her off, she's fucking annoying. Turn it to telemetry. Now when you go back you can press the down on the D-pad and it switches between your HUD and the telemetry. So once you've got your telemetry turned on, we can go to tune car. Now if you've got a Formula Drift car, or if you've put drift suspension on any car, your alignment is going to look a little bit like this. Maxed out negative front camber and maxed out front caster. Now this is good. Trouble is you don't have enough front camber, to be honest. So what I mean by that is if you look at this picture here, you can see the leading wheel. This car's going around the right hand corner and this leading wheel is actually dead straight on the tarmac. So if I show you my Supra here, if I'm going around the right hand corner, the front left wheel then becomes the leading wheel. Let me just show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to drift right here and the leading wheel is the front left. As you can see, it's leading. So on full lock we can see here the front left camber is actually at 5.8 is maxed. That's positive as well, so you can see the positive camber, the top of the wheel is further out than the bottom of the wheel. If we look at the Formula Drift car here, the wheel is actually dead straight. That means that you got the full tyre touching the road, giving you more grip. Now how do we counteract this? We can obviously add a lot more negative front camber, or I'm going to show you the only way to do it in this game, because obviously the negative camber is maxed. We turn this down, we turn the front caster down. So if you turn it all the way to low, you can see the front camber on the trailing wheel. We're using the front left here as a trailing wheel. It's basically dead upright, which is what you want. Now the fact we have no front caster then means that the self steer or the transition is very poor. So we sort of need a happy medium. We need a little bit in the middle. To do this we add a little bit of front caster, just not too much, not the 7 that we had before. We want around in the middle, just over in the middle, so say about 3.5 to 4.5. The more front caster you have, the snappier it will be, but the lesser front caster you have, the more grip you will have in the corners. So if we go for about the middle, I'm going to go for about 4. What this will mean is when we're stopped, the front camber is at 2.5. That's pretty good. That's pretty grippy, because let me just show you here. I'm just going to do some manjies and focus on that front left when I'm going right. You can see the camber is at around about 0 because you're not actually using full lock. If you obviously do use the full lock and you spin out or whatever, then you're using the full lock. But you don't don't really use full lock on these cars in the real world. If you're actually going down the needle climb, the new needle climb, you're not actually using full lock. So why haven't I spoke about the front right wheel or the trailing wheel? Now, if I show you this picture here of a four-wheeler drift car, you can see it's going around a right-hand corner. You can see the front left wheel is dead flat on the road. You can actually see that the trailing wheel is actually completely off the road. So you're getting no grip whatsoever because there's no weight on that corner of the car. So that's why I haven't spoke about the trailing wheel whatsoever. Is because it completely does not matter, because you haven't got enough like weight on that corner to actually have it make a difference. So next up is the rear camber. Once again, we're in our telemetry. You can see that there is no rear camber. It's dead upright. Problem with this is we start accelerating, and you can see. Let me do that again. You can see you actually gain a little bit of negative camber. Why this is because the force of the car as you accelerate, you can feel it when you accelerate in any car in the real world. You get pushed back into your seat. Now all the weight of the front is getting pushed back onto the rear wheels. The rear suspension then compresses, giving you a little bit of tiny little bit of negative camber on the rear. So how do we counteract this? Go back into our tuned car, go to the rear camber, and we actually put a tiny little bit of positive camber on the rear. And what this does is when you accelerate, do that again, you can see it's it's still a tiny little bit positive. Now that's good, because when you're actually going really fast, the car will squat a little bit more. And you can see it's actually, for this, if you're going around a right hand corner, it's the rear right wheel that is then got the most weight. So just like the front, where the trailing wheel doesn't matter, it's kind of like the trailing wheel matters more on the rear. Okay, so we start managing again. You can see the bottom right, the rear right, sorry, on the right hand corner is what's got most grip, and you can see it's actually just going into the negative still, so you're not getting the full contact patch on the rear. So we want a little tiny bit more positive camber on the rear. I'm probably going to go with about 0.6, 0.5. Let's try that again. So we are losing a little bit of grip when we're actually accelerating, but when we're actually managing, you can see our camber is pretty good. Camber's nearly at 0. So that's what you're aiming for, basically, guys. You're aiming for 0 camber when you're not at full lock, when you're just before full lock, because you should never really be on full lock unless you spin out. And on the rear, you're going to want 0 camber for that big contact patch, propelling your car forward. That's basically it for this video, guys. I know it's a lot to take in. I know I haven't explained it quite well enough, so please drop me a comment in the comment section down below. I will reply to them all. I will also go into further detail about the tow and suspension setup in another video, but I just wanted to show you this telemetry, and I'll just basically tell you to reduce your front caster a little bit. That's all this video is telling you. This is basically the same alignment that I use for all of my cars. I do change it a little bit depending on the anti-roll bars or springs are dampening, but this is basically what I use on all of my cars. So like I say, leave a comment down below. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that bollocks. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.